Hello everybody, it's Red, and welcome back to more Skyward Sword, kind of. I'm bringing you guys back here to the land of Irelia, just to talk about some stuff that, well, Skyward Sword could have done better. Ooh, shadows. Zoo, catch the shadow? No, he's interested in the mechanical pencil. Okay. And why are we here in Irelia instead of, the game? Well, for one simple reason. I'm not good at drawing on the computer, so I just decided to draw in a notebook, using pens and stuff. Yeah. Also, Zoo, please don't hit the eraser. So without much dilly-dallying, basically this video is not really gonna focus on the problems on Skyward Sword. I've already spent 34 videos talking about that. This is just gonna be some of my ideas that could make the game better in one way or another. So this here isn't really meant to be like a thing where I say, okay, this is how Skyward Sword could be better, and if they do remake it, which could probably happen next year, we don't know. This is how they should do it. This is just my ideal version of a Skyward Sword remake. Take this as Red's Skyward Sword HD DX version according to Red, and it sounds cool. So, what do you say we stop messing around and jump right into that? Also, autofocus is gonna be really annoying. Just bear with it. I don't have a professional recording thing. And what could the first subject be? Well, of course, it's the Goddess Harp! So, we know the Goddess Harp, we know the problems behind it, let's just jump right into it. First of all, if this game is remade, it's gonna be on the Switch. So, how is the Goddess Harp gonna work on the Switch? Here are the Joy-Cons. So, how do we do this? First of all, you hold R to strum, safety reasons, and then you press the notes right here. Wow, is it that simple? It is that simple. Hold R and then roo. And then you go like this, down, roo, right, roo, up, roo, and you play the song. Wow! Because people like to play around, we can also use the SL and SR buttons for pitch, just, it's fun. So with these changes, you actually get to play the songs, which is a thing that people complained about. I also decided, of course, to leave the conducting themes because they're just really pretty and really nice, so you still get to just go like rum, 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 and fight goes. Yeah, just, yeah. So these right here aren't really based on music at all. It's just like, oh, hey, examples, this is how you would play the song. I didn't really think about like the proper notes and whatever. But anyway, what would playing the songs on their own do? Well, I thought about some stuff. First of all, if you play Dim's Power, Nehru's Wisdom, or Furor's Courage, after you finish the Silent Realm, you get to teleport to the place! Whoa! So what I thought up was basically, you play the song right here, and then boom, a little thing shows up on the ground, you hacha it, just really cool, and then this holy light comes up and teleports you over to where the Silent Realm is. This really would only be usable down in the surface, again, Skyward Sword's HD DX version according to Red. If you use this up in the sky, it just doesn't work, it just, nope. Just so we still get a lot of use out of flying, and it's a mechanic that is really fun. It is part of the game, it's part of the things behind the game and that kind of thing. So this only works while you're down in the surface. So if you're down in the surface, play the song, hacha, holy light, you teleport to the place. Wow! It doesn't matter in which region you are, you just teleport to the place, doesn't matter where in the surface you are. So there we go. Teleporting between regions. We'll talk a little bit more about region traveling later on, but for now, yeah, teleporting. Also, the Belt of the Goddess, what would it do? Well, think about this. The Goddess, protection, blah, 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 blah. Basically, it makes it so that you survive better. Wow. It's on a whatever minute cooldown. I thought of like 10, 15, maybe 20 minute cooldown. And then once you play it, hearts pop out of the ground. Or you get double defense for a little while. Maybe like 15 seconds, so it's not too powerful. It really is like a thing that you have to stop and think about doing, like, be careful about when you use it, And then if you're playing on hero mode, you get this bonus effect right from the get-go. You still can't really play the song, like, go up to the Tower of Light and play the song so you can immediately unlock the Thunderhead. Just for the sake of pacing, like, let's say that you play the song and then it's like, this sounds like it should work, but this time it didn't, because you still have to conduct Fi, and at the time, Fi doesn't really know about that kind of thing, so, blah, blah, blah. Same thing for the Song of the Hero. It's the Song of the Hero, so what could this be about? How about bonus damage? That would be cool. Again, minute cooldown and then like really short so that you really have to think about when you use it. Or maybe you get the true Master Sword Skyward Strike. For like 15 seconds, you'll get to just like and it's really powerful because, you know, it's the true Master Sword Skyward Strike. Because you only get the Song of the Hero after you obtain the true Master Sword, let's just say that this is the upgraded version. Or maybe, I don't know, you just get unlimited Skyward Strikes for 15 seconds. Like every single swipe you do ends up being a Skyward Strike. That would be fun, you know, just whatever. Just some ideas, tossing them out there. Again, if you're playing on Hero Mode, you get that from the start. Just little bonuses for people who are like, I want to take on this extra challenge. And that's kind of what I have on the Harp. Now let's talk about some smaller stuff. First of all, skippable everything, come on. Some of the dialogues are just too long, especially fights. Please just allow us to skip everything. The chew button is right there. I mean, the Switch, so no chew button, but whatever. Also, menus. This is kind of awkward. Just make it a list. You know, it works a little better. Shuffle the Goddess chest because, come on, getting an extra bomb bag after the Fire Sanctuary? When you don't really have the space to use bomb? You get tons of rupees earlier on, and no extra bomb. Just shuffle the Goddess chest. That's all. Also, in my opinion, the Sacred Shield comes on a little bit too early, so we don't really get that much use out of switching between the wooden and the iron shield. So delay it a little bit, you know, just make it a little bit better. Like, get more use out of the shields. You know, it's as simple as that. So I thought about maybe after you clear the sand ship, then it becomes available. Just an idea, I don't know. A different ammo system would be fun, because as it is, it just takes so much work, so many rupees for not enough of a reward. You just get more of the item, so you can adapt a little bit to your gameplay style. Like, that's fun. But how about we get thunder pellets for the slingshot? Or maybe bomb arrows? I don't know, just for combat, just for fun. Just a few ideas. Maybe make the upgrades cheaper, maybe make them take fewer treasures, because as it is, it's too much trouble, not enough of a reward. Anyway, next up, more flavor text. Just flavor text is never enough. Also, double staminas in Silent Realms, please. Just, like, Silent Realms are a point of complaint, so, you know, doubling the stamina would lower that, or if not in normal mode, at least in hero mode. Come on. And also, I talked about this before, playing hide and seek with Erla. It would just be fun, and then you get, like, treasures and whatever. Just, yeah, that would be a really fun thing. Next up, the bug medal. Let me just fix that real quick. Nailed it. The bug medal gets more useful. Like, it makes bugs not run away, or like, it attracts bugs to Link. Right now, as it is, the bug medal doesn't really get that much of a use. As you're roaming around, you already find whatever bugs you want. It's really only useful for fair and grasshoppers or sand cicadas. So, I don't know, make it so that bugs don't run away. Just small buff to the thing. Also, the long claw shots, more on that later. But you basically get to upgrade the claw shots into the long claw shots, or the claw long shots, or the long shots, or the long claw shot. You upgrade it, it's longer. This unlocks traveling between regions. One big point of complaint in Skyward Sword was that people wanted to see the transition between each area. And this is something that Nintendo has already talked about, and they were like, this is the thing that people talked about, let's try making a Zelda game about that. We got Breath of the Wild. But, okay, just add a couple more screens so that we can, you know, see traveling between regions, and then with the long claw shots, you get to unlock that. This isn't really something that I thought was a big problem, but some people said, hey, more Pillars of Light would be cool, and I'm like, okay, sure, why not? So you get a few more pillars for Lake Floria, the Sand Sea, and the Volcano Crater. I don't know, just some ideas. Also, at full health, you get the Super Skyward Strike X. Basically, what this would be is that you would get a true Master Sword Skyward Strike if you're at full health. Yes, charge time, damage, range, whatever, all of that comes in there. Awesome, yay. And then once you get a true Master Sword, then you don't need to be at full health to get the thing, to get the upgrade. This would just be really fun. It's a cool Zelda reference, you know, first Zelda that is. Also, the shops could be reworked a little bit. Beetle, you know, like, after you buy everything from Beetle, he's just kind of laying there. So, make it so that he sells some other stuff. The only thing that came to my mind was small treasures, so, you know, you buy small treasures from Beetle, and then, like, after buying 50 treasures, you get a piece of heart. Yay. Also, speaking of treasure, the Moonlight Merchant, just put him outside the cave. Also, the treasure chest. Why the treasure chest? He just spits the treasure out. Come on. Okay, whatever. Also, Igas! It's a Knight Academy, you're there to learn. Igas can teach you different moves after you've defeated a certain amount of enemies. So for example, 20, you get the finishing blow. After killing 100, you learn the backslice. After killing 150, you parkour into battle. After 500, you get the mortal draw. This was a really cool mechanic in Twilight Princess, and It just makes sense that it would be here. After all, we're in an academy. We're there to learn. Also, after you beat Hero Mode, you unlock Hero Mode. Basically, it's a new game plus plus, where as a reward for finishing the game at a higher difficulty, you get to customize your own difficulty. So for example, you get some sliders. How much damage does Link take? A little, a lot. How much damage does each sword upgrade deal? A little, a lot. How much health do the enemies have? Do they restore health after some time? How many hearts do you start with? How many pieces of heart are out there in the world for you to collect? Just, I don't know, some fun stuff for you to customize your own playthrough. This would add a lot more replayability to the game. Again, development problems, that's why it doesn't have that kind of thing, but this is the ideal version. This is a version where I'm like, hey, you can get anything you want, anything your heart desires is yours. My heart desires these. Also, in New Game Plus Plus, you will get some fun tunics from the Headmaster. So again, you get to customize and get cool bonuses for doing the thing. So for example, you could get a purple tunic that gives you immunity to curse, or a red tunic that gives you immunity to fire, a yellow tunic that gives you immunity to electricity, a blue tunic that gives you more air as you're swimming through. You would also be able to swim without the Hard Dragon scale. Also, more attack, more defense, that kind of thing that you can change whenever. You just go over to the Knight Academy, enter Link's closet, choose a color of tunic. Yay! Also, this isn't really an idea that I developed too much, but more shields. You get like, this is the only thing that I thought of. An electric shield, for example. If you shield bash, the shield electrifies. And then if you shield bash as an enemy is attacking, they get paralyzed. Like, just fun stuff. Electricity is such a wasted opportunity here in this game. And of course, they did a lot with it in Breath of the Wild. I'm just expanding it here as well. If you can think of more cool shields, make sure to leave them in the story section down below. And then, a really big problem with Nintendo games in general. Accessibility! That's the thing! More up in the cards. First of all, colorblind mode. Motor disabilities exist. Volume sliders. Descriptive subtitles like, you hear a grunt from that direction. You hear a bat squeaking in that direction. Something like that. Also, font options, because dyslexia is a thing. Just accessibility. And also, Nintendo said that this was a thing. It's not a thing, and I'm here to explain why. Left-handed mode. Just, okay. Take this for example. This is Girahim blocking. This basically means that the sword cannot hit from here, the sword cannot hit from here, the sword cannot hit from here. The only ways that the sword can come is from here, here, or here. Now, does it matter if Link is holding the sword in his right or left hand? No, it does not. Because here's why. If Girahim is blocking from over here, for example, the movement that you have to do is this. And if Girahim is blocking from this direction, the movement you have to do is this. It doesn't matter if Link is holding the sword with his right hand or his left hand. It's the same motion. Come on, Nintendo. Don't give us excuses. Just explain. Yeah, development was rough. We couldn't add it in. You just have to mirror Link's model and maybe a couple cutscenes here and there. You don't have to mirror the entire game. You don't have to create Skyward Sword Lefty. It's not that hard. But enough of the small stuff. Let's actually talk about something that is a really big wasted opportunity. The Elden Staff. It's just like, okay, it's extremely linear. And that makes it so that it doesn't feel too awesome. How would it be better? Well, I drew a flowchart. First, you will start off, and then Platz is going to give you the mitts. I don't know, something like that. From the mitts, you actually get the option to go to 3 different treasures. You can get the Gust Bellows, which would lead you to a rupee, and a Goddess Cube. I don't know, something like that. Or you can go ahead and grab the whip. The whip will lead you to treasure. Yay, just fun stuff, collecting stuff, whatever. Just making it open like this is already a big improvement in that thing. Also, you can also get the claw shots, whatever. With the claw shots, you actually get to go to other areas without your gear. That's just something funny that I thought of. I don't know. With the whip and the claw shots, you actually have to go through a really long path to get the slingshot. Or, if you have the Gust Bellows, you have a shortcut to the slingshot. Fun stuff. Make it open. With the slingshot, you walk back to the start, and then at the start, you get the bombs with the slingshot. From the bombs, you can go ahead and get the beetle, which will lead to a piece of heart, and the pouch with the rest of your items. You can also get the bow, which will lead to the rupee medal, putting some treasure down on the surface just for fun. And then with the bombs, you can also get the sword. Now, if you combine the sword with the bow, you can go to the end and talk to Eldin. Or if you combine the sword with the beetle, you can get to the end and talk to Eldin. Just, yeah, that final room you don't even have to change. And I hear you, Red. What would you do? What would the game do if you skipped some of this stuff? It's linear because you need all of your treasure. Well, if you skip any stuff, MotionPlus is gonna be like, look, pal, here, I found this treasure. I thought it was treasure, but it's actually just junk treasure. You can have this. I don't care. Simple. Moving on to something that I think is a really big problem. The sky, it's not that interesting, just yeah, anyway. This would be tied in my version, to the Gratitude Crystal side quest. So after you collect a certain number of Gratitude Crystals, Metro is gonna be like, hey, I found this a few years ago. This is a headlamp for your Loftwing. This allows for night flight. That would just be fun. I don't know. Also, Yakamar will help you rebuild the sky, or like build fun stuff in the sky. Like, oh no, something happened and my house's roof broke. Oh hey, I'm Yakamar, I can help you fix it, but for that I need some more help. Hey, Linkipoo, can you help me out? And then Link is like, yeah! And then, you know, you get materials or whatever side quest, and then you get gratitude! Yay! Speaking of building things around the sky, Ramlet Island. First of all, just think of how happy Instructor Horwell would be about that. It just sounds so... yeah. Anyway, first of all, gratitude, of course. People come at random times to take care of their Ramlets. Everybody gets a Ramlet. Yay! That would just be so cool. I don't know. Make them actual, like, little pets. That would just be fun. Also, you get to hold beauty contests. Think like Pokemon beauty contests. Yeah, whatever. There's also a piece of art to get in there. Why not? Link gets his own Ramlet, and sometimes the Ramlet will like scamper off to Zelda's room just for fun. And of course, your Loftwing gets a little basket on the side. It just sounds so cute. I just can't even. Speaking of cute, Loftwing Pen Island. Think like raising them like chocobos in other Final Fantasy games? In Final Fantasy games. Also, Loftwing races, basically they get custom attributes. You can customize like diving speed, or flapping height, or I don't know, lots of things, more dashes. So you customize your own Loftwing. And also at some point, you go back to the past, and then young Impa is like, oh, hello Link, I'm young Impa, and Zelda left me this thing. And I don't know, maybe you could do something with it. And then you get like one of Zelda's bracelets? I don't know, something, whatever. Maybe the Goddess Harp, why not? The Goddess Harp. Zelda's Loftwing will come to you if you go to Loftwing Pen Island. And then you get a second Loftwing. Just for fun. First of all, that would give you a second Loftwing to customize attributes so you can do races. I don't know, just an idea that I had. It's just fun stuff. And speaking of gratitude, I didn't talk about gratitude this last topic, but boom! I made one small change to Betro, other than more gratitude. Here we go. Basically, he would have his horns be made of crystal. I also added a third horn, just for fun, because it fits into the thing that I'm trying to build here. Basically, at some point, he just explodes with gratitude. And then, that little shard that explodes has an element in it. You bring it to Gondo, and then you get to build, for example, the Thunder Bellows. Whoa! Again, upgrading more items. It's just such a cool mechanic. Let's do more with that. The Thunder Bellows basically works like this. You slowly build up charge against an enemy and then it gets paralyzed for a few seconds. The Gust Bellows already kinda stuns the enemy where they're like, I can't move. But you don't really have time to move in and then slash them with your sword. The Thunder Bellows adds that. It's a feasible, a tangible upgrade to the Gust Bellows. And the name Thunder Bellows just sounds so cool. Next up in the list of other upgradable stuff, the Flame Whip. Basically, it's longer, just because, I don't know, it lights enemies on fire, and then it deals a little bit of DPS. Just fun stuff. And after you collect the Flame Whip, you can upgrade it further by adding, I don't know, a large bomb bag to it. Into the Blast Whip. Make it even longer, I don't know, balance the game out, and it still sets enemies on fire, but the most important stuff, you do this, boom goes the dynamite. Blowing up enemies would cost a bomb flower just because it makes sense, but this just sounds like such a cool upgrade. I don't know, I really like that. And then the final upgrade that I thought of would be the Blizzard Claw Shots. First you upgrade the Claw Shots to the Long Claw Shots, and with the Long Claw Shots and the Ice Shark from Betro, you can do the Blizzard Claw Shots. Basically, it looks like a snowflake, it just sounds cool, so yeah, there we go. And then Link puts the two claw shots together like a Kamehameha, and then he shoots off to an enemy. And then you get two options. If you flick the Joy-Con forward, Link flies forward and then stabs the enemy for an instant kill. Or if you flick the thing backward, Link pulls the enemy in and then, you know, just stabs it in for an insta kill. Just fun stuff to do with the fighting. Just, yeah. Ugh. And that's really all the ideas that I had for a better Skyward Sword. And again, I'm not gonna harp on too long on that kind of thing. Just, yeah, I've talked enough about Skyward Sword, and I think it's time to call it. I can't think of any more bonus videos to do on this topic, and yeah, I think we're actually done here. Wow. So, this is actually something that we will probably get, Skyward Sword Deluxe, Skyward Sword HD, something like that. Next year is the 35th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda, and also the 10-year anniversary of Skyward Sword, so it only makes sense that we get an HD version of it, especially because it's a game that Nintendo really poured their hearts into, and it got a lot of flack, and people didn't love it as much as they could have. So, it makes sense that Nintendo would try to make it better. Next year is the perfect time to release that. And these are just a few ideas that I had, coupled with other stuff that I've talked about throughout this entire project. I just love Skyward Sword so much, and I wish it could be more, and I hope that Skyward Sword HD is more. But for now, here on this channel, that's it for this game. What's up next? Well, let's just say we'll be collecting some fruit. See you guys then.
Crash, 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 why must you always muck in my mud? Oh look, I have a mask helping me too. We will find out which one is more powerful soon enough.